Faraja Africa Foundation and her partners organized the East African Youth Parliament in 2018 following the establishment of the East African Community, which comprises of 7 member states.
And I'm happy once again that I've been, by default, delegated by the Member of Parliament from Mbarara City North Division, the constituents, Honorable Robert Lukali, to come and represent him. But allow me, in the views that I've been delegated to represent him, he didn't give me a written or keynote issues that I should hint on. But because we've worked with him for a long time, I know he knows that I can talk about the issues that he could have talked about, some of them. So in that aspect, you'll also allow me to add on my own version of what I think the youth stand for and the youth concept stand for. I hope you allow me to proceed from that background. My name is Robert Kanusu. I'm the Deputy RCC for Mbarara City Southern Division, but I first worked in the Northern Division as the Deputy RCC before I came to the Southern Division. So now I say that I understand the city very well. My presentation, as in my opening remarks as well, would be centered on a few things that I think we need to share with you as youth. I shouldn't say that I'm also very far from your category, and I can't also say that I'm distant so much from the issues affecting the youth. But first of all, I wish to thank the organizers, the Youth Parliament and the executive, for organizing regularly these meetings. Thank you very much, the organizers. I also wish to thank the partners, African Youth Foundation. I also wish to thank the Faraja African Foundation, which collaborates with the government of Uganda in ensuring that the issues affecting the youth are discussed, debated on, and the strategies drawn towards addressing them. So my presentation will be centered on this, I don't know what, I should call it a theoretical concept, which is based on the youth conceptualization. How do youth understand themselves? And how does society understand the youth issues? The concept of youth, I believe, is a broad and big concept, which is not only at our society level, which is not only at our national level, but also a global concern and a global concept. It being the independent variable, I also think that human development is another factor which is part and parcel in the youth development. And the dependent variable of this, which become normally the talking issues for youth, are issues of employment or unemployment, education or non-education, issues to do with the development or non-development, growth, innovation, and sustainability, which goes into life sustainability, environment sustainability, economic sustainability, political sustainability, which I think that all these issues, both the dependent and independent variables, are moderated by 3 major factors, which include corruption, which is a key issue when it comes to the current trends. There is the issue of technology, which is also a moderating factor, in that even when you want change to come, it has to be based on the other factors which are either in our means or beyond our means to utilize in order to achieve what we want to achieve. And the other last issue, which I think is so pertinent, is the issue of the policies, what the existing policies say. If you want to achieve variable A, B, C, what do you need to have in order for you to achieve what you want to achieve? So my presentation in brief is already 50% covered with that few background, but I think that we need to apply critical thinking when it comes to issues of youth development. Conceptualization and growth and development of youth issues will not come on a silver platter. It may not come by just demonstrating and you say we have talked and we have achieved, because there are many other underlying factors which may come along the way, which are either detrimental or maybe facilitators of what you want to achieve. So I think conceptualizing what youth are, what we are, how do we use what we are to achieve what we want to be, becomes very critical and calls for critical thinking, as Madam has mentioned it here, and calls for critical analysis. What's the best way for us in the process of growth to achieve what we want to achieve at the right stage, in the right way, in the sustainable way? Because I see there are many people who have grown old, and they have just grown. They haven't developed. I think you have met many of them. You have interfaced with many of them. Some even can go on TV and you see someone talking and say, but what he's talking does not rhyme with his age. Or it may not be rhyming with his status in society. Like recently, like yesterday, I think, or the other day, I was watching one of the honorable members of parliament quarreling with police officers who were executing some orders as they tried to move into one of the political offices in Kampala. And the words that were coming out of his mouth were like, is this one in the right place? Is he representing the right office? Or is just living, not knowing what he stands for in community? So there are many aspects that we need to go on, and dynamics that move with the true picture of youth development and growth. The other issue which I wanted to talk about, which I always repeat because it is still trending, it is not getting out, not already phased out, it remains a key factor at a global level. What are the issues which youth are concentrating on? I believe they are centered in one concept which is called human development. And human development, as you know, is defined as enhancing people's capabilities and giving or creating opportunities for them to achieve them. So human growth as a concept of enhancing the human capabilities, meaning as you grow, what capabilities, what abilities are you getting equipped with to encounter and engage the different challenges facing society, facing you as an individual first, and then the society. So when we talk about human development, we anchor ourselves on the 7 pillars, which I wish you to interest yourself in. Because when you master them, these 7 pillars become the center for bankable projects for you. Anything that you want to do in life as a youth, as a young man, the kind of life you want to achieve, the kind of legacy you want to build is always centered on these 7 standard pillars of human development. One of them is knowledge. Acquisition of knowledge as one of the key pillars of human development. And this comes at both national level, it may come at regional level, it may even come as low as the society level and at individual level. If you want to achieve what you want to achieve, how equipped are you with enough knowledge to get where you want to get? As a country, are we preparing enough human resource by creating the knowledgeable and the skills of the population that we want to turn the economy into what we want it to be in the next 30, 50, or 100 years to come? I'll give more examples about this when I come to conceptualizing how China managed to turn about the majority of 70,000, it was over 70% of the youth into productive population, and then turn around the economy of China into the fastest growing economy in the whole world, and liberating over 700 million people out of poverty within a spell of only 25 years. This is what China did, investing in the 7 pillars. In knowledge acquisition, the Chinese never took an advantage of leaving the young men to grow as they want to grow, because they control the central command economy. With them, the government sat down, drew the standard program, modules for youth development, and engaged them without excuse. They would say, this section of youth, this age, should go for training in this aspect, either in technology and innovations. This one should go into production using the technology from stage A, and then it was enforced with government policies, which others say China uses force to make its economy tilt around. And that's what it did. Here in Uganda is where you can find even a graduate trained in agriculture, seated in the trading center, busy playing cards, or misplacing himself, riding a border, and yet he's living in an environment where he can be able to practice what he studied and even be more useful to the community and society around him by giving them the skills and the knowledge he acquired out of his training. But what does it take for you to do the step number one? All this is under the pillar of knowledge acquisition. The other second pillar is decent standards of living. It's only a person who is knowledgeable, who is equipped, who would love to live in a decent life. And when you start living a decent life, it directly or indirectly changes your style of life and makes your welfare better. And indeed, you turn even the community welfare better, because you yourself as an individual, you have really conceptualized the essence of living in a decent environment, living a decent life, protecting others, knowing that if you are clean alone and your neighbor is not clean, it becomes infectious. You are not safe at all, meaning you have to move together as a team. So as youth, what standards are we setting for our society? First of all, working on ourselves, and then we work on the society, and then we become role models for the young, those who are younger than us. The other issue is promoting equity and social justice. As youth, don't you think it is the right time for us to wish the best to your friend as you would wish it happened to you? What's the best? How can you engage even the elders to start thinking in this aspect of equity and social justice? If you see the majority young men getting older and older, getting old with their skills, graduating in their thousands, and you're an old man getting into 90s and you don't want to quit office, you don't want to even open up opportunities by expanding your investments for young men to get absorbed in, but you are there with your money, maybe you are keeping it in your house, just keeping it there because for you are safe, you think even others are safe. So social justice, how do we relate? If you are from this group A and group B or from region C, do you also know what is happening elsewhere? Do you know what other youths are living? What kind of life they are living? We have a problem in Uganda where people don't really want to move, to learn. They just stay in their communities, get comfortable life, and they don't mind about what others are going through. So if we bridge and